What's happening, Auxly traders and investors? It's Rod with the Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Happy Friday. It's February 28th, the last day of the month. Hope you're well. We've got an exciting update with regards to Auxly. We're going to take a look at the chart, what to expect in terms of the price action, the technicals, and the days, weeks, months ahead. I'll give my thoughts and opinions, but spoiler alert, it's very bullish. We just confirmed a monthly uptrend. Haven't done this in many, many years. And this is what we need to see in the sector, in my opinion, across the sector, not just Auxly, but all the producers in Canada, US, retailers, ETFs, etc. But this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. And full disclosure, I do own Auxly in my portfolio. Very bullish on them long term. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you've been notified on any future content. And if you feel free, if you would like to follow us over on X as well for more real-time updates, you can do so. Formerly Twitter handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Shout out to Elon. Not very happy with Elon here though. And I posted about this. I was in one of his threads. He posted a few hours ago, why do the governments not respond to their people? And I commented the same reason you and real Donald Trump don't talk about MJ legalization. You'll do it when you're ready, not when 80 to 90% of the country want it. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves, especially claiming to be American people first. Time to wake up. So time to wake up, sleepy Elon Musk and real Donald Trump. I get it. There's other priorities in the world, but when 80 to 90% of the country want it legalized in some fashion, well, then it's time to start paying attention and at least, bring it up, right? At least get the ball rolling, or even like just talk about it, right? Like, why aren't they? It's very frustrating. And in my opinion, it's because they probably both sold their soul long ago. A lot of these people that end up, kind of making it big, they probably sold their soul at some point or another sometime, down the line. But if you haven't seen my video with Hugo Alves as well, I did an interview. This was a few months ago now. Wow, time flies. That was back on November 19th, 2024. So if you haven't seen that, I highly encourage you to check it out. Very bullish on the company. And we're finally starting to see the price action recover. It's been an absolute roller coaster ride, right? It's been brutal. This thing was at almost $3 back in January of 2018 when Canada legalized. We had almost $3, $2.97 to be exact. And then from there, we essentially lost 100% of the value. We were down 99.7%, which if you look at, all the other major names and its peers in Canada, most names are down from all-time highs around the same, 99.5 to 99.8%, right? So Auxly obviously wasn't spared or immune to that sector weakness, but just think about that for a second. We went from $2.97 all the way down to 1 penny. This reminds me of Cardano, the cryptocurrency, where it went from a similar amount to back down to under 2 pennies. It was at like 1.7 cents or something, but this went all the way from almost $3 to 1 penny. Not very many people can stomach this. And that's why I tell people you have to be very careful when you get into MJ, because this isn't for the faint of heart, right? And a lot of people, they're such diehard MJ fans, and I am too, right? I'm the biggest MJ, passionate about MJ. I love it. It's what I think I was, I always joke or say that I was put on this earth to spread the MJ gospel, if you will. But, at the end of the day, emotions aside and my passion aside, my love for this plant and this industry aside, this is how the game is played, right? And people come into this financial world, as we call it, and play this game, as we call it, and they don't understand boom and bust cycles and hype versus fundamentals, right? Like fundamental, it doesn't matter how good your fundamentals are. Yes, we're starting to see recovery in Auxly and some other outliers, but for the most part, the sector's still very bearish. And if you look at the all-time highs to where we are, we're still down almost 97.5%. So it's gone from really, 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 really brutal to just, really brutal. So it's still, a long way to go here. But the point I'm trying to drive home is that most people come into MJ and they think that, I'm just going to, come in here and be an expert, or I'm going to come in here and I'm going to throw in my hard-earned dollars and it's going to be an easy thing, right? And it's not, because, most people come into MJ, they don't have any investing experience, right? And you're going to get absolutely eaten alive. And, I feel for people that had to go through this ride. But, at the end of the day, the company's alive and well. The sector's alive and well. It's not going anywhere, right? The company itself, I'm talking about the sector's not going anywhere. Companies are a different story. But personally, if there's any company that can have the stick-to-itiveness and come out of this on the other side and see light at the end of the tunnel, I think it is Auxly, based on, this absolute bloodbath. But we just confirmed a monthly uptrend. So we have our low, we have our high, higher low, and higher high. We're stuck in this equilibrium here. You can see here with these yellow bars. We had our low, high, higher low, lower high, higher low, double top, triple top, finally broke resistance, right? Usually on that fourth try, third time, it just continues to weaken. And same thing on the downside. If you continue to support, and then if that would have came down and lost support there, that key support at 2.5 cents, which was a triple bottom, then we probably would have been back down to 1 penny. But instead, we broke resistance on the triple top instead of the triple bottom, and we broke through it with follow through, and key resistance was there at 7 cents. So we have our low, high, higher low, and higher high. What does that give us? That gives us an uptrend. What is a downtrend? A downtrend is lower highs and lower lows. An uptrend is just the opposite of that, higher lows and higher highs. So we have a monthly uptrend. This is really the first time since 2018 that we confirmed a monthly uptrend, and then we confirmed a downtrend here in the month of June 2018, and then it's just been an absolute bloodbath from there, right? But if you think about it, like let's say you're one of those people who bought Auxly, and you bought it at $2 or $1, okay, and you're like, well, I'm not gonna. You might have even capitulated and sold, but let's say you say I'm not gonna add any more. This company's garbage. Well, a stock price is not indicative of a company's value. But imagine if you just put $500 at a penny, or $1,000 at 2 pennies. If this thing goes back to all-time highs again, not saying it will, not financial advice, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but that's almost a 300x. So if you put $1,000 into this thing and it goes back to all-time highs, and if it does, why would it stop there, right? It might even continue into new price discovery. But that's essentially a $1,000 investment into $300,000. Like this could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in some of these names here in MJ, right? Percentage-wise. And we are gearing up for our first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. And this is only the second time in history that we confirmed a monthly uptrend. So things are looking extremely bullish here at the moment. And if we take a look at the weekly chart, we're well above the 10-week moving average. We had a stochastic and a MACD bull cross. We're approaching the 200 weekly, which a lot of names started to do before, Florida failed Amendment 3. But we do have key resistance coming up at 8.6 cents. And as of right now, we need the whole sector to kind of get the wind at our back. We need the whole sector to start to rise. We need, the S&P 500 not to crater, and it's been pretty weak, but you're starting to see kind of the relative strength here with regards to some of the names in the MJ space, and kind of plays toward my thesis as well that once big tech, crypto, AI tops out, MJ is going to be a nice rotational play and could go on to become one of, if not the best performing sectors in the coming years. But this is looking fantastic. We just had the 50 and the 100 weekly moving average bull cross. If we zoom out here, if we zoom into the daily time frame, we just had a golden cross, and we have the potential for the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average to cross. It's probably going to be a few months, at least 2 months before that happens, in my opinion, based on how far away they are. But it's looking fantastic. Like I said, we just had a golden cross. So this chart's looking absolutely amazing at the moment. And like I said, I've been a very a big proponent of this company, and love their products, love their partnerships. Again, if there was any company that could pull, make it through the ringer and pull out of this on the other side, and see the grass is greener on the other side, then I think it's Auxly. And pretty brutal, right? $3 all the way down to 1 penny. And I was fortunate enough to be able to kind of avoid all of this. I actually didn't own any Auxly until recently, over the last year or so. And like I said, I was able to get it. I started buying it, around 10 cents, 5 cents. I even got some as low as a penny and 2 pennies. And I remember just, buying. I was getting a lot of, on my Wealthsimple as well, I was getting like a lot of, from stock lending, I was getting, a few $100 every month or something like that, back in the day, because, they were heavily shorted. And, I was taking that money and I was buying it. I was buying, a penny, 2 pennies. So some of the positions that I bought, they're up, 300, 400%. But overall, in terms of my average, I'm up about 100%. With regards to my overall average. I've got it in my TFSA, my long-term tax-free savings account, so all the gains grow tax-free, and then I have it in a shorter-term account as well. But like I said, this is looking fantastic. We did have a level there at 9.5 cents as well, the next price resistance. We have the 200 weekly at 8.6 cents. There's going to be a lot of resistance in that 8 to 9 cent area, and then 10 cents psychological. But if we can get over 10 cents, there's nothing until about 35.5 cents on the monthly time frame. So things can really start to move here. And this is one of those names where, once it starts to get going here again and you miss the move, you're going to feel FOMO. And we're starting to see the multiplier effect really start to diminish here, because, if you get it in a penny or two, and this thing goes back to 10 cents or 20 cents, like that's a huge, huge multiplier effect and percentage gains. And for example, like if you entered now at 7.5 cents and we go back to all-time highs, that's a 37x, right? So $1,000 into $37,000. If you got it there at a penny and it goes back to all-time highs, like I said, that's $1,000 investment into about $300,000. So that's how quickly the multiplier effect it comes and goes once you start to recover, right? So like I said, I'm super bullish on the company long term, very bullish on the sector long term. These Canadian LPs, in my opinion, a select few MSOs and a select few Canadian LPs are going to absolutely dominate this market. Obviously, there's going to be 10 to 20 players, but in my opinion, there's going to be probably half a dozen that really shine and control the industry, just like big alcohol, tobacco, any other industry, right? There's usually 6 to 12 major ones, and usually a select few kind of run the show, right? And it's that blue chip phase. Auxly, maybe they end up getting acquired by another company. That potentially could happen as well. There's probably still going to be a lot of consolidation and mergers and acquisitions, so not ruling that out. But like I said, I'm very, very intrigued with the value proposition and overall just the recovery in the stock, and like I said, the amount of upside versus risk, right? The risk versus reward ratio here. That if you buy $1,000 at a penny or a couple pennies, the most you can lose is $1,000, right? And the upside is absolutely limitless. So I love these types of setups. Obviously, it's brutal to see this, this wealth destruction and the bleeding for that long and that bad, all the way from $3 to 1 penny. But the volatility to the downside means there's still a ton of volatility to the upside. And again, this is why it's so imperative that we don't just come in and throw our hard-earned dollars at any stock or at any sector without understanding the ins and outs, the way the game is played. And so all too many people come into this sector being an MJ enthusiast and saying, I love this industry, I love this plant, and a lot of people are kind of that gambling mindset, right? People love to like you're coming into the riskiest asset class next to crypto, right? So of course you have like a gambling mentality. You're not going to buy Coca-Cola or anything like that, right? Or Amazon, which you're not going to get rich on Amazon nowadays. It's a safer bet, right? So it's going to be an interesting story. Can't wait to continue to follow it and see where they go, and see where my portfolio goes as a result. And I'm sure each and every one of you are thinking the same, and I wish you nothing but success. So going at it there, once again, happy Friday. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. I hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead, and we'll see you again on the next video.